Hi guys, great to see you again and welcome back to the Sanctuary Moon. My name's Tim. FFG have been kind enough to release an awful lot of Legion stuff in the last couple of days, so I'm going to race through a lot of unboxing videos with you, hopefully go through what's inside them, some of the interesting cards that come with them, and anything about the models that you might want to know before you purchase them. Okay, here's the droids. So, before getting to the figures, similar setup, fancy box, cardboard, instructions with details on how to put them together, which frankly is sufficiently detailed because these ones have a lot of options and there's a lot of parts. Key difference so far is these are on sprues. Now I've taken them out because it made it easier for me to show you them, but you can kind of see that you do get the spare arms, so just like all the others so far, you can run them as a regular squad. It's worth noting for anyone who kit bashes, there's a spare head in there because one of these guys has got a unique head. So I'm thinking about putting that together and stick it on Kenobi's base or something like that to make it look like he's just removed it from a droid. You've got your standard card, which kind of goes through the normal stuff, just there for reference in case you're not dead familiar with it. But I won't kind of spend too much time on that because I think for the time being, we're not really interested in that. We're interested in what comes with it. So, different set of 3 cards to all the others so far. Electric binoculars we've seen. Integrated antenna. This is during the command phase, you can be issued orders by friendly commander or operatives at range 1 to 4. So there's no operatives in the droid army right now, however, there will well be down the line. But what this means is you've got a cheaper one squad access to commanding presence, so essentially instead of being range 3, they can go out to range 4. Right now, if you're going to run one of these, this card's a cheaper alternative. If you're going to run more than one, it doesn't make sense yet. Not unless I'm misunderstanding the rules, but essentially commanding presence will allow you to push out to anybody at range up to range 4, where this gives you that for cheaper if it's just one squad. I think when the operative comes out, whoever that will be, that will give this card a bit more usability, but yeah, quite good. And lastly, your comms relay. So when you'll be issued an order at range 1 to 2, so when you would be issued an order, you may choose to issue that out to a squad at range 1 to 2. Now, just worth pointing out, the coordinate droid troopers, after you're issued an order, you may issue a friendly unit to, say, an order to a unit at range 1. That would kind of circumvent that. So essentially, it'd mean that you would say, well, that squad's at range 2. Instead of me getting that order, I will pass it out to them, and hopefully you'd get that coming back to you. So a bit more flexibility, perhaps. But certainly something that the droids might need or might want to have because of their need to be getting orders, considering their keyword of AI attack, which is unless you have a face supporter token, the first action must be an attack. So very thematic because they're silly little droids with not much brains, but tactically not a strong suit. Right, so we'll jump into the cards next. So first of all is your OM or OM series battle droid. This is your unit leader like all the other ones, but this one lets you use coordinate, so you can issue it orders at range 1 to 2 instead of range 1. So you can see that's a common thread with some of the cards about being able to kind of bounce out orders. This guy for a 12 points, which isn't bad. I mean, it's twice the points you normally pay for a model, but there you go. But essentially allows you to be pushing orders out further, but you still get to keep your action. So if this squad was issued an order, it could take it, but then its coordinate could push that out to up to range 2. So it just means you can spread further. And I think these cards are going to see a lot more play as the game develops. Recent announcement showed the clone tank with that beam weapon, where you can go from range, attack at somebody, and then if there's a squad at range 1, you can attack them. Then there's a squad at range 1, attack them. That's really a droid killer. This is going to, from the droid's perspective, hopefully eliminate some of that. So watch this space. But if nothing else, lovely looking model. Next up is the security droid. This is a bit more fancy, but essentially this means you'll lose the AI attack. 9 points, so only a marginally more expensive unit. But essentially, if this means you've got a squad that isn't going to get benefit of the coordinate, or you can't issue it orders because it's out of range of your commander, then it can, as an action, flip this card and lose AI attack. So you'll still be able to do an aim or a dodge or a move and then attack, so it gives you a bit more versatility. The model is a standard droid, nothing terribly fancy about them. My camera's not focusing, there we go, probably because it's so spindly, but it is a more dynamic running pose, which I like. I would like the model to look a bit more beefy, because on this the painting makes it look like he's got a different kind of chest plate, maybe something a bit more appropriate to someone who does security, a bit more armoured, but alas, it doesn't, but that's fine. But either way, it's nice to kind of have some inspiration to paint it up a little bit differently. Next up is a new heavy weapon, which is essentially like a sniper rifle. Expensive though, but you are going to get access to critical one there, so that could be quite useful. You're almost certainly going to get your red dice pushed through with a hit, and then your white, who knows, that's not exactly going to be great, but there's a reasonable chance you get in that crit going through, which, where on a sniper rifle normally, you would probably expect to have like sharpshooter 1 and PS 1, so you should be able to force through 1 to hit. This is a little less good on account of, yes, you can force it through heavy cover if you get that crit, but they're still going to roll defense because it doesn't have a pierce. But an interesting one. Model, though, is great. Really like this model. So he's got this big old weird gun, excuse me, connects bizarrely through a kind of tube to his helmet, which I'm not quite sure why that would be, but who cares? He's got fibre optic vision now. But the model looks really nice, really straightforward. The gun's alarmingly big, but I do like it. Hopefully the end of that barrel isn't going to get broken with my haphazard management of them. But yeah, a nice gun. I'm going to enjoy using that, but I don't think it's going to be a mainstay of my army, frankly. But the next one is the radiation gun. Now, this is the radiation cannon, rather. 2 red, so if you're using red dice, you know that's probably going to be 2 hits. Plus, it's got poison 1. So when you are attacking, you'll roll your red dice, you'll roll to hit, you'll roll to defend, etc., etc. And then, assuming it hits, you'll be giving out a poison token, which, just to remind you, at the end of that, the attacking unit's activation, so the defending unit's activation, it will suffer a poison token, and essentially will then lose another unit. So you could either in that turn kill 3 units if you manage to get a shot off before it activates, or it's got to carry this until the next round, where it's gonna have someone's gonna die basically at the end of its next activation. So an unusual dynamic in terms of you can shoot one turn and somebody dies the next, but still pretty sweet. And I think 22 points isn't bad. You've got to get in close to use it, but I think that's going to be a really, really clutch one and make people a bit more fearful of the droids, and I like that a lot. And I think when you think about things like the Z6, which I think is 25 points for Rebels, which I know not exactly directly comparable, but that's like 6 white dice that you're throwing at range 1 to 3. And you'd be lucky if you get 2 hits out of that. This, you're guaranteed 2 hits plus, almost, well, not quite guaranteed, but you may as well be a red dice as long as you get out to cover. And you've got poison, so you're going to carry one over to the next turn. I think that could be really, really good. And it's 1 unit die, so 1 model dies per poison token. So if you had a few of these, you could really kind of focus on a unit, shoot at them. Even if your squad was obliterated next turn, it could be that a squad doesn't kind of live to fight another day, which is really nice. So that's your lot. Your 2 heavy weapons, which I do really like the look of them. Admittedly, this gun I think is a bit cheesy looking, but should be fun to paint because it's a radiation gun, so I want to have fun trying to mess around with some object source lighting on that. But I don't know why they've left it with a big bludgeoning hole at the end of it. It's a bit disappointing, but I'll just drill that if I have to. But that's my only kind of critique of it. But yeah, really nice. Oh, what I didn't say before, if you didn't know, if this is, your first foray into doing droids, you're going to want plastic glue for doing these guys because it's hard plastic on sprues. Everything else I've shown you or will show you is soft plastic and you'll do super glue with. These want to be done with a plastic glue. Right, excellent. That's it all for the time being. Oh, I didn't mention it comes with bases, but you probably knew that. Next, we're going to do the clone expansion.